Howdy, Rad. All right. So I've cheekily called this deck Actual Affinity. And in recent memory, these artifact-based aggressive decks have either been more cranial plating decks or like the hardened scales variants that have popped up. Recently, we had Matt Sperling top 8 the last Modern Mythic Championship with a experimental frenzy version of a deck that I would refer to as robots. Here, we've got copies of Actual Factual Frogmite, as well as Thoughtcast here for cards that have the mechanic Affinity for artifacts. These cards get cheaper to cost based on the artifacts you have in play. That's where the archetype Affinity originates its name from. So this build is trying to be... I'm actually not really sure what this build is trying to be. Let's play some games and see how it feels. We've played both hardened scales and more traditional Affinity recently, and both of those seemed fine. I'm not sure how this Ravager list, Steel Overseer list build is going to feel. Generally speaking, cards like Ravager and Steel Overseer are very powerful, so I'm interested to see how these Ensoul Artifacts and Thoughtcasts end up lining up for us. Seeing super reasonable. We get to play 1, 2, 3 spells on the first turn of the game. Opponent Suspended Riftbolt. Traditionally speaking, the burn matchup tends to be good for the Affinity archetype for 2 reasons. The first is that we get to play the card Vault Skirge, which can gain us some life. The second reason that it tends to be good is because our mana base, generally speaking, doesn't deal damage to us. Morning pizza. So we got a storm count of 3 there. Not amazing, but not the worst by any means. Kind of hoping to draw a second land on 2. Eidolon's a little bit scary. Definitely going to deal some damages to us. Without drawing the second land here, our start's pretty slow. I think I just play the Cranial Plating. Because if I play Signal Pest, I'm only using 1 of my 2 mana this turn, which doesn't seem efficient. Light him up. Post-combat Beaumont Courier, yep. Ensoul Artifact. Can't cast that one. I think we're probably dead here at this point, huh? Oh, I guess I could have equipped here, right? Yeah, it doesn't. Wait, what? Did my opponent just click through their turn by mistake? I think they might have. Deal. Hey, look, I played a free spell, and it didn't deal any damage to me. Harsh Mentor. Activates the ability of an artifact creature or land that isn't a mana ability that deals 2 damage to them. Okay. So if I try to equip Cranial Plating, I take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I do this, and then I do this, I'm going to 6, but once I hit my opponent with this, they can't cast spells. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm going to 1 on their attack because they can't cast any spells. Emmercool, the Anus Torn, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Alon, bro. Alon, Ted. In before Stoke the Flames, right? Alright, well that ended up working out. Hey, monster! Monster! Thanks for the 11 months, bud. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Do I want Spell Pierce? I feel like I kind of just want to attack for a bunch. I'm going to click submit. Frogmite was great there, by the way. It was a 2-2 that didn't deal damage to us. Morning, Hayes. Millbot, check it in for the 8th month. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So, like, I have turn 1 Vault Skirge, which probably eats it and dies, but I also have, like, turn 2 Scissors off of Darksteel Citadel. No, it's called Actual Affinity because there's cards with the Affinity mechanic in it. Morning, Giddle. Yep. So we're going on to 13 here. It's a good draw. So if I play this, it gives me a 3rd artifact. If I play this, it gives me a 4th artifact, and then I can play Thoughtcast. Right? Our deck's so good. Fear the 2-2. I paid 1 mana for a 2-2. Are you scared? You should be scared. That's kind of sweet. I think I just do that, huh? This is my beef eater. He's beefy. He's a chunky boy. Isamaru in the house. Robo Samaru. Unless we get Ensnaring Bridged here, we should be in a good spot. This deck should really be called Metalcraft. Yeah, probably, Hayes. They skewered my Frogmite. They skewered my Signal Pest. What's going on, Green Sky? Thanks for sticking around. Now, I'd be very surprised if they ever went back to the Affinity mechanic. Master! Master! Do 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 do. You shouldn't run with scissors, but sometimes it's okay to let scissors run themselves. That's all I'm saying. When someone says actual Affinity cards, things like Tezzeret don't count. They're talking about like actual busted cards like Thoughtcast and Frogmite and like Mirror Enforcer to a degree, not unplayable 6-mana planeswalkers. The read between the lines there is, will they print good cards, I believe. Disciple of the Vault Mirrors. Yep. Back when cards like that triggered on not only your cards but your opponent's cards as well. This seems like not amazing. I really wish we had another 1-drop in this hand so we could do something with the Springleaf Drum on the first turn, but it plays Master of Etherium on turn 2, so I think that's fine. Active player, non-active player. My first ever Magic tournament, my opponent went turn 1 Disciple, turn 2 River. So basically what you're saying is you've seen some stuff. Our hand is great against Thoughtseize. We have 3 payoffs. Although notably that payoff doesn't die to removal, so Mox Opal's like an okay draw here. It lets me get in for 2. Yeah, active players' triggers go on this deck first, which means they resolve last. Yeah, you're not wrong, Captain Magar. And that's the type of experience that Nexus generates for people. Ooh. Well, I dropped a couple of frames at some point. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully that's not a thing. Wonder why that was. Is my Wi-Fi having issues? Alright, so they'll let them get a Death Shadow down. Morning, Jackie. They didn't have a Fatal Push, though, so that's nice. So I think I wait a turn here, because my opponent obviously doesn't have another Death Shadow. They would have played it. I think I just pass, and then next turn I can attack with everything. Because I don't really want to attack them for 7. They go to 3, they have a Death Shadow, they kill me on the backswing with the Teamer Battle Rage. Hey, Sunhorse, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Hopefully their hand's just a bunch of stubborn denials right now. Sleight of hand deal. So we're just hoping they don't have another creature to play this turn. Only the colored artifact lands are banned in Modern. So Tria Tails and stuff like that. Darksteel Citadel is legal because it makes colorless mana. What are we hoping to draw next turn? Running with Scissors would be our best draw. Woof. So punished for not being aggressive last turn. It's a good start to recovery. All right. So we're cooking with gas. This is lethal next turn. I wonder if I'm supposed to play this out proactively to get around Stubborn Denial. I like this. My opponent thought scoured me here because they have plenty of cards in their graveyard. No blocks. So I assume this attack signifies they're playing another Shadow or a Delve creature. This draw is actually okay, because it means I can cast this and animate this and still attack with my Memnite. So they're at 7. We're dead. We're dead to Team or Battle Rage no matter how we slice it, right? I think we're at a point earlier in this game where we could afford to play around Battle Rage, but that is not our life any longer. So hit you for 2, go. They can fetch Shock, making their shadows 11s. I'm at 14. I can chump block with the Memnite and kill them on the backswing, but if they're attacking, it probably means they have TBR and we're dead. I guess a chump block here also leaves me dead to Bolt since they can fetch Shock, but I don't think I can afford to play around that at this point. Yep. Gosh, this game lasted till turn 5. What a long game of Modern. What a crazy long game of Modern. I feel like this is probably an Echoing Truth matchup. It doesn't seem unreasonable. Can just like buy us some tempo. Resetting a Gurmag Angler can also strand it in their hand for a turn or two on occasion. Yeah, there's a lot of different directions you can build the artifact aggro deck in. This one that we're playing is definitely a little bit different, a bit different actually than the builds that have been successful of late. Like Thoughtcast and Frogmite haven't seen play in a very long time. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. Arcbound Riveter and Steel Overseer are just like incredibly powerful cards, so like not playing them feels strange. Adding in a bunch of blue spells while cutting blue mana sources doesn't seem like a particularly good idea, Draven. His hand's not very good, but I think it's probably better than going to 5. You know, we played Affinity with Frenzy, and Frenzy was, like, really bad every time we had it almost. Our conclusion at the end of the last Frenzy Affinity video was just play 4 mana, the Karn Scion of Urza. Hands like this are a great example of, like, why these decks don't play cards that read Affinity for artifacts anymore. Light Up the Siege seems much better than Frenzy, but like why are those my options? Why can't I just play Corporate Karn? I think Corporate Karn kind of just does everything I want to do in this deck. It generates card advantage when generating card advantage is good, and it generates pressure when you want pressure. Yeah, I mean, like, Frenzy's definitely comparable to Frenzy in Standard, right? Like, sometimes it's incredibly busted. But I feel like against the decks where you want Frenzy, you don't need incredibly busted a lot of the time. Yeah, I like Karn a lot. Karn Scion of Urza is one that's consistently impressed me in these shells. The good news here is that even though our hand's not explosive, obviously, the fact that we have Thoughtcast means we're going to be able to generate a little bit of card advantage, so maybe we can go long. Darksteel Citadel is actually was actually one of our better draws here. It means I get to cast Grey Ogre next turn. I like the robots list. I played a couple of Stirrings and Karns. I don't think I've ever played that variation. I'm definitely a fan of Karn. I feel like if I wanted 4 mana card advantage, that would be it. In fact, part of me wonders, looking at this deck list, if Karn is better than Master of Etherium, just because, like, the angle of playing Thoughtcast in my deck means that I want to be able to go long a little bit better, and Karn plays into that going long game plan as an addition to being able to generate pressure on occasion. I don't know. Look at my board state. Should Spirebluff Canal be Glimmervoid? You be the judge. Should Spirebluff Canal be Glimmervoid? I don't know. I don't know that you could pay me enough money to play Glimmervoid. You're not wrong, Persip. It's fine. We'll see how this goes. This one might not make it through all 5 matches. This definitely feels just like a worse version than other iterations of robot aggro that exist. Tier 3s do not include a legacy deck at the base rate, Isha. Legacy is just not particularly popular, so it is a $50 minimum. We've got huge tracts of land. We've drawn couple two tree. I have a new Karn build around for Modern in the queue that I think I'm going to build as a variation of Bluetron, but sometimes they want it more than you. I can't remember the last time I saw that card get cast. But actual, factual Bile Blight. Actual, factual Bile Blight. I'm going to be honest. When I okayed this deck, I don't think I looked at it very closely. I think someone just asked, I think they just saw Affinity in the queue, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's a good deck. And like, this is definitely a mediocre variation of what is a tier 1.5, tier 2 deck. This hand really wants a 1 or 0 mana creature, but it's pretty good if it hits it, so I'm going to keep here. Why are they playing that? I don't know. It's pretty good there, though. So unfortunately for people who are primarily my standard viewers, the way Magic Online works, I don't have a full collection because having a full collection on Magic Online costs, in the range of like $20,000 or something like that. And more importantly, even if I did have a full collection, I'm not able to change decks mid-league because I'm locked into what I've submitted. It's like playing a constructed event on Magic Arena. So even if I had the cards and I wanted to, I would not be able to. Ezra's Sword, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is there a 3-year badge? There are 3 and even 4-year badges, in fact, JMP. Although no one has the 4-year badge yet because my channel hasn't been partnered for 4 years. I am a 44-month subscriber to my channel. So 4 months from now in September, I'll have the 4-year badge. You can mouse over people's badges now and see how long they've been subbed for. Alright, so I think I'm going to lead on Thoughtcast here, see where we get going. We hit a land. I'm going to play another Cranial Plating. Animate this. Play out another Mox. Equip this. Attack for some amount of damage. Yeah, I mean, if they don't have Bolt here, we're actually in an okay spot. All right, and like a fart in the wind, it's gone. There's nothing left. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do 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 do. We won the first match. Urquat coming in hot with the 17 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right. My opponent's going to show us their TT. Feels like a long time. Yeah, definitely, Milla. I think Trey has the oldest sub on the channel. I think he's 43. And my channel's been partnered for 44 months. All right, do you have pigeons as well? Oh, yeah, double pigeon. Double pigeon. Zombie coming in hot with a $25 tip. Thanks, Jeff. I can't wait to see Bat and Bo. Off to drench my group theory and standard models exams in tears. Sounds good. Good luck. Godspeed. Is this lethal? Do I have lethal on the backswing? I think I'm pretty close to lethal. Let's count. Am I too short? I think I'm too short, huh? So if I equip this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm 2 points of damage short here. That's unfortunate. All right, so I think the line is... Well, I don't have mana. I don't have mana to do that, Demir. Oh, I can play it. You're right, because it's free. It's free. It's free. Look at that. Okay, listen. I'm not an Affinity expert, okay? I'll figure it out. Slow and steady. 17-1. See, opponent should have finished the job on turn 4. Should have finished the job on turn in before gut shot, right? They do actually play gut shot sometimes. Listen, Frogmite's like, put me in, coach, I'm lethal. Put me in, coach, I'm lethal. Oh, Frogmite. Oh, Frogmite. I was in a room last night that was a free-for-all. Yeah, 2,000 plus person chats with little moderation are not particularly conducive to having meaningful discussions. Ensoul Artifact sounds really bad against the thing in the ice stack. I don't think I want Grafdigger's Cage here. I think I'd rather have Damping Sphere. Is Echoing Truth a card that we want to be playing? I feel like it is. I feel like this is a card I want in my deck. What do we think of this? I'm gonna do this. Thopter Spy Network. Listen, if there is one card that I really wish the new format would go back to Origins for, I really want to cast the card Thopter Spy Network and not have it be embarrassing at some point in my life. That's really all I want out of life, is to be able to cast the card Thopter Spy Network again and not have it be embarrassing. So I think boarding in Grafdigger's Cage is becoming too interactive and not linear enough. So remember, every piece of interaction we board into our deck makes our deck slower and makes our game plan worse. So I think ideally I don't want to board in 9 pieces of interaction. Was it you that had the breakout Spy Network deck when it first dropped? Yep. Week 1 standard open, I top 8'd with Thopter Spy Network in my deck. My win rate at week 1 standard opens was just absurd. I think I've top 32'd almost every top 32'd or better almost every week 1 standard open I've ever played. So do I just plating? I'm probably supposed to plating. Then if I draw a land next turn, I can go Might, Damping Sphere. It might be right to get the Damping Sphere into play ASAP, if only because, like, they could, like, play 3 spells and put birds into play this turn now. So it might have been right to be more conservative here. You like get the wet ball down. All right, they're in the tank on this Faithless Looting, so maybe they don't have a bunch of pigeons. Okay, they have 1 pigeon. Yeah, and if I would have played the Damping Sphere, so like I didn't play the Damping Sphere and played the Cranial Plating because I wanted to be a little bit faster, but now they've slowed me down and I have nothing. So it's like I made myself slower, but like what do I have to show for it? I tried to go faster and I have nothing to show for it. Yeah, Affinity does lower the Damping Sphere attacks. So this card will still be free as my second spell for the turn if I have 5 artifacts out. I think we're dead here, right? I guess they only have 2 cards left. The Faithless Looting and the bin, we're probably just dead here, though. So this costs 2 because it costs 5 minus 3. So the question is how quickly can they flip their TT over in the face of my wet ball? Crackling Drake, yikes. Good news is that the thing's not flipping over particularly soon, but they have me dead in the air rather fast. Okay, that's a draw. So do I like Frogmite, equip Cranial Plating, smack them. I could also Master of Etherium, play Frogmite, and then like hope they make an attack in the air that's not lethal next turn, and then Echoing Truth pulls their blocker out of the way and I kill them. Maybe that's the line. Or I just like hope to not die next turn and then kill them on the backswing. I think that's the play to win line. Am I dead to a bolt? If they bolt me, I go down to 8 and they have 7 power. So if they bolt me plus have another spell, I'm dead. But they've already played 2 bolts, right? I don't think I'm playing around. They'd have to bolt plus 1 mana spell kills me here, but. It's incredibly unlikely that they flip the thing in the ice through the Damping Sphere. Yeah, I agree. I think the play to win line here is play my stuff out and then hope to like equip Echoing Truth, crack and kill them. Play another thing. Vomit. Vomit. We tried. All right, game 3 on the play. Let's go. Yeah, that one's like not even on my radar because it's just not beatable. Things that kill us every time. That. Turn 1, we go this. Turn 2, we do this and attack. Kind of mana heavy, but like, it puts a lot of power and toughness into play relatively quickly. We're like, looking to draw a Cranial Plating or another Master next turn. Or an Echoing Truth or Damping Sphere. Want a way to interact or another payoff, basically. Hey, Anna Moyne, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I just had a match where Massacre Oral would have wiped my White Weenie board out, but they didn't notice I had Honor Guard. That's awesome. Hey, Master of Etherium, attack for 3. Yeah, the old no-life Vault Skirge. Rarely seen, but always appreciated. No-life Vault Skirge. We'd actually really like to draw an artifact that's not a creature next turn. So that way, if they have Anger of the Gods again, they don't kill my Master of Etherium with it. Would be ideal. Wet ball, please. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and is never beating a copy of Anger of the Gods? This guy right here. All in. Seems good, Anner. All right. That's all, folks. Hey, look. Could you imagine if we had a Ravager in play? How good would Ravager have been there? Absurd? Absurd is the answer. I'm gonna play one more because these have been going quick, but this list does not feel good. Feels like we took a deck that's already like struggles to be close to tier 1 and like made a lot of changes that make it significantly worse. Adding card advantage to your deck is rarely the answer in Modern. Killing them faster and more efficiently is often the answer. Big Kitty fan, thank you for the 26 months. Welcome back, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's no Ravager, there's no Ink Moth, there's no Steel Overseer. Basically, when Past Jeff said he was going to look more closely at deck lists, he partially lied to you. I blindly accepted this because the title just... I don't even think I clicked in to look at the deck list. I think I just saw it said Affinity, and I was like, yeah, Affinity's fine. What's the worst that could happen? Apparently, this is the worst that could happen. Past Jeff is, he's a real turd. Also, I'm committed to playing Green-Black Elves at the Nerd Rage tournament. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So we're going to be fitting in a couple of leagues with Green-Black Elves over the next week so I can get some extra reps in. Yay! Look at all these really castable blue spells. Yay! Alright, yep. $33 months of definitely vetting modern deck list. Keep it up. Thanks, Griffin. We did not. Our opponent cast Anger of the Gods on turn 3 when they were dead on turn 4. No, 10 rack's not gonna squeak by. Also, after we lost a bunch last night with Blue-Black Kefnet, I might have played with Bant Bow off stream a little bit. The deck's sweet, by the way. And we're 2 wins away from Mythic again, so hopefully we'll sneak into Mythic today at some point. Was UB Kefnet bad? It definitely didn't feel good. We hit the bad end of variance a couple of times. Yay! We've got huge tracts of land. Which deck did you win a bunch with? Green Red Sarkin pulled us up a good bit yesterday. That deck's great. I should probably just suck it up and smork people at the end of the month with that. That deck's real good every time we play it. Oh, Bant Bow. Not only are counterspells terrible with Kefnet, but the fact that, like, little Teferi is everywhere makes counterspells even worse. Shaka Shaka coming in with the 10-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They're just taking their Jace and throwing it away. They must have a Terminus in their hand, right? Playing this Jace out like this, like to get it killed by Frogmite, just like screams, I'm about to Terminus your board. So, I'm actually going to decline playing out the second Signal Pest. I think my board's gone here. Although, if my board's gone, nah, I'm a liar. If my board's gone, I'm conceding. So, just going to go ahead and cast my thing. Alright, I'm off of this. Let's play standard. I'm past the point in my life where I play bad modern decks. This deck took traditional robots from the current format and decided to play a bunch of old cards that in a different decade were acceptable and playable in some format, modern adjacent, but they're just not good enough here. Not playing Steel Overseer and Ravager and Blinkmoth Nexus is really crazy. These cards just aren't good enough. Master of Etherium is like maybe barely good enough, and even that probably not quite there.